I'll put all my little comps here. So let's say right there. Okay. So let's just draw this. Maybe a little longer, maybe a little wider than that. And I like the San Gabriel dusk, but my problem with it was I think it needed some foreground. So now I have sky and mountains. And let's see about here, we'll just call that where the city begins, or the trees. And certainly could make a nice painting. I've done that painting. I just wanted some more foreground elements. So we could do San Gabriel #1. And we've got these trees that are going to come off here to the side. And you kind of go in. So then you lose a lot of your background, but you get some foreground. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, you know what? Let's take that out. This is what thumbnail sketching is all about. And let's try that #2, San Gabriel 2. So we have all this stuff up here in the foreground. And there's some background there. And maybe a few little things shooting in from the side. Maybe some things on the bottom too. And I like those three. I like the silhouettes of this one. But I think, you know, the San Gabriel during the day, I like those trees, but you know, they're not silhouettes in the evening. But can we just use the form of them and then make them into silhouettes? I don't know. Let's see. So let's try. We have the you know, maybe some trees up here in the foreground. And then we have some trees sort of coming off in this area. Something like that. We have some branches off this way.
You froze. Oh, there you are back.
Yeah, did I freeze? Oh, I forgot. Oh, you know what? I'm not putting in I didn't hit the
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you anyway. You reminded me. Okay. And so I kind of like this. I like this. I like the showcasing this silhouette of a tree right here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So on the right of your sketch, yes, there, you're bringing the branch not overlapping with the mountains, whereas the San Gabriel Day photo, it goes over the mountains.
You know what? That might be a good idea. What do you think? I like that.
I always have problems with tangents, and I always wonder, you know, so You think it's best to overlap?
I think it is. I think it is a good idea.
Also, everybody should turn their video off. I think Lisa is not turned off on the video.
More around in there. Yeah, let's make sure we have the videos off. Yeah, that takes up a lot of bandwidth. And then maybe even bringing the one from the sky in there. Just using it for inspiration. And then again, I think maybe you're right, taking some of those little leafy shapes up and over the mountain. Let's hit those a little bit darker in the foreground, maybe. Just at the side. And we do have some shadows in here. I don't know if that's necessary, but I'll put in a couple of shadows. I want to keep those lighter. Oh, this, I think down below is pretty much in shadow. And it sort of fades up into the light. So you notice how the mountains get a little bit darker as you get toward them. So there's some good things to think about. You know, we're working out all these things before we even start painting. You know, we've got maybe a little leafage on these. I don't know if I near that up so high. Okay.
Rob, did you take these photos?
Yeah.
I came in late. Sorry if you've already answered that.
Yeah. Yeah, I took them probably 2 years ago or so. I don't know. I think the info is on there.
Where were you when you took them? Do you remember?
Let's see. You know, if you go on Linda Vista Street,
Yes.
2000. This one from it's the daytime one. Yeah, it was 2011. I just grabbed them out of my file. I didn't know it was that long ago. Wow. I think that one's off Linda Vista Street.
I just want to say it's probably off of Parkview, which is just down the street from me, and Marion Wachtel, who California painter.
Oh yeah.
Marion and Elmer Wachtel used to live in the house next door to me. It's been remodeled beyond all recognition.
Wow.
But this is tying into our little world here. Michelle Zach wrote a book about Altadena and used Marion Wachtel's painting of the mountains that Michelle claims was done from their studio right on Parkview. And I have the idea that it's not quite from that location because I look at those mountains all the time. I'll try and bring it up, or you can look it up on Amazon to see the cover.
Let's see. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's not from. I think, you know where it might be. Is where I don't know the names of the streets. Okay, you know, at the Rose Bowl, where the aquatics is, the aquatics pool or whatever, the pools. I'm up on the hill behind it.
The aquatic center.
Yeah, there's trails back there. I think I'm up. I'm pretty sure maybe I'm up there. Okay, you know, I go all over these hills. I can't tell where this is.
Rob?
Yeah.
This is Shelley. I'm showing the book that the lovely woman had just talked about. Here's this cover.
Okay. And Michelle Zach is the wife of Mark Goldschmidt, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So Shelley, I can't see your. Oh, did you have it up there?
Yeah,
It's called Altadena.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that book. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Do you see it?
that's a great book. Let's see. Let me get Shelley. I mean, you're not. Is your video on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see her.
It's coming through.
there it is. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it is. Who did that?
Miriam Wachtel.
Marion Wachtel. Is that watercolor?
It looks like oil to me.
She's really great at watercolor.
Yeah.
I mean, she should be who everybody should look up to. Her watercolors are amazing, but her oils are too. I mean, she's just this great painting. I had the opportunity to buy a small one once, and I passed it up like a cheapskate. Okay.
George, I've got to ask, did you paint that scene that's behind you?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. That was at Peck Road Park.
Oh yeah,
It's fantastic.
it's a juicy painting.
Yeah,
Is
like
it oil?
Yummy.
Oil with palette knife.
It
All right.
looks really good, George. And where is that park?
Peck Road Park is southeast Arcadia,
Okay.
but I think we're interrupting Rob.
Okay,
I think you're right.
he won't mind.
it's okay. I like my class too. Okay. Let's see now. So, oh, do I have the right pictures out there? Okay. So let's just sort of design this thing. So we've got, and that's the dusk. Doesn't have to be perfect. But let's do a value study. Even though I sort of did a value study, we'll do a value study. And we want something around there. Some branches coming off over here. Maybe this one coming in from the side and overlapping. And something from the top. Just maybe possibly we could throw in some interesting shadows. And that'll give us a really great area to put in some silhouettes. But first, let's just do this in one value, or I mean, use one color. Nice dark color, whatever you like. Prussian blue is always good. Oof. Got a lot of paint on there. So light, yeah, pretty light sky. Might even be a little dark. But look, I mean, if you just look at the mountains, I'm looking at the San Gabriel dust, by the way. Just look at the mountains in general. I know there's little light spots on there, but in general, they're much darker than the sky. And on that one, I have a pretty light sky. So, you know, I love to make my skies kind of green too. I'll show you that later. When I'm doing twilight paintings, I love to throw green in the sky because I see it all over. And you know, these photos do not do it justice being there, as you will know, I'm sure. Okay, so let's just go a little bit deeper in value for the mountains here. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing. We're not here to get every little nuance, right? Just paint right over the trees. Because they're going to be in silhouette. You could, yeah. And it might actually seem, oh, like that's a little dark, but you'll see it'll dry lighter. You know, what we could do is just throw in some shadows now. And you know, shadows don't have to be exactly, we're just going for some values. So there's so much information up there. I'm just going to throw in some shadows. A little, I'm just looking for the value of them like this. See, that's what I'm looking for. So really not interested in getting anything sort of perfect or anything, just the light value up against the really light sky and the shadow value a bit darker. But also notice how, see the tops of the mountains are lighter, and then as you get down toward the bottom of the mountain, it gets darker. You know, the sun's falling down. It's falling late in the day. So all this just isn't catching as much light. So it gets a little bit dimmer. I love it when it does that. So what we can do here is at the base of the mountain, just take a little slightly darker at the base. Might blend right in with the shadows. Some of the values of the light here are almost as dark as the shadows. I mean, I think it's also that you get more vegetation on the hills at the bottom, but you notice how orange the mountain is, and then it falls, and when you get to the green down here below, you really get all shadow. We could just put that over the whole thing for like. And well, let me go to my daytime one, since I sort of eliminated the other two. But now you could certainly use San Gabriel 1 and 2 for notes, just little references to, like, for instance, rock references or maybe other tree references. That's all I use them for. So now I'm going to the daytime one, San Gabriel daytime, and oh, now here's let's see, oh, I'm missing one. Okay, let me go back to my other folder here. So the San Gabriel 2 is good for how dark you want your silhouettes to be, because the San Gabriel daytime one, they're not dark enough. So they're very dark. So let's just get that. I'm using Prussian blue. If you're using black or whatever, just dig in there.
Which one is San Gabriel 2?
The one with the dark silhouettes.
Well,
you can't see the title on there? Or?
Not on my cell phone, I can't.
Oh, I'd say, yeah. It's just the one with the dark silhouettes.
Okay, so it's evening time, but dark shadows.
Yeah, no, dark silhouettes of trees in the foreground.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Now, so use that one for the value of them. But remember, we're drawing it like this. So we're drawing it like, we're using the daytime one for our tree reference, but the value of it, you want to use the San Gabriel. So they're very dark. So, and we've already drawn these out here. So I'm going to put them in there, just sort of, I'm putting them in pretty dry because they're scrubby looking things. We have a lot of scrubby, shrubby stuff around here. And so we can Go. And this is all very dry, so we could just throw that in like that. But you know, we're really not rendering here, so it's not crucial. That you get every little detail right, so don't get hung up in details. That would be what you don't want to do at this point. Just some there we go. And then we've got, whoops, that's pretty dark, pretty fat. That's okay. It's a value study. And then we've got this one over here. And go over there. And then we'll take it up and over the mountain for some overlapping. You know, there's some beautiful, I love those sycamore trees, how they have the little pods on the end. Those are great. You certainly could include those if you want. I don't know, I wouldn't want to create too much. I mean, I think over here we could. There's certainly some over there, so. I just sort of made my own branch. It's not exactly like that one. But I liked how that one was drooping its way in from the top. Some little guys off to the left. Some of these little just use more of the side of the brush there. You know, some leafy things, a few overlapping. All right, that kind of does its job. Maybe a thick branch coming in from the side. Maybe is that too much? Maybe I didn't need that, I don't know. It seemed like I wanted something different. I'll work that out. So there we go. Just using a bunch of photographs to get what you want. You know, oftentimes I just make it up out of my head. If I can't get what I want out of the painting, I'll put my own little branches around there and whatever, but I would rather have reference. Because I'm, you know, even with the reference, I'm gonna go off on it anyway, but still, it's nice to have the reference. All right, so then, and maybe I should zoom in on this a little bit more. Oh, we should have zoomed in on the last one. Oops. All right. So let's go for it again here. Let's use the dusk. I like those mountains. It's just a comp, so we're not really trying to get it all perfect. These are meant to just work out a lot of the sort of big, basic things. So we have a few shadows coming in over there, over there. Got this, right. We've got this long one that comes over here. And a few of those and a few of these. So a couple of nice little patterns. We have our sort of tree line here on the bottom. I don't think you really even necessarily need to even pencil in these branches here, but if it helps you, go ahead. We've got the placement of this tree about right here. So I just sort of put it in like a big lollipop. So all those pictures for such a simple painting. Because you get so much yellow in the sky later in the day, I tend to see some green in it. So I'm going to throw that down sort of like that. And I just used Prussian blue with a little lemon yellow. Just gives you that warmth in there. And oh man, I see pinks in there all the time. So go ahead and if you want to throw in a little bit of pink, whatever. Just touches. And then with what I'm going to do here is throw down some orange. Notice how the mountains in the background get lighter. So they're distant. These mountains, up here are still farther away, and then they get closer and closer and closer as you get toward the bottom. So that's where you get your real oranges down here. So as we put down our tones, we just want to think in terms of these ones in the back now. They're lighter with a little bit of more blue, and then I'm going to put like a little bit of ultramarine blue, just very little, like a dot, like I put hardly any over these.
Sorry, are you using lemon yellow, or are you using gold?
I'm using lemon yellow and a little bit of red. And so all over the background mountains. And then as we get down a little further, these get a little more orange. So let's hit a little bit of cad yellow, a little bit of cad red. Throw that in there. There we go. More up in this area. And they get kind of darker at the bottom. That deepy, did I say deepy? That deepy red. More red in them down here. Because this is much, closer. And I think the light's falling too, so you're also getting a little bit darker. You might catch some of the green back there too from the suburbs. So I'd use ultramarine blue. I'm sorry, Prussian blue, and a little bit of lemon yellow because it's a cooler yellow. I just pull that right over all this. It's okay. It gets quite blue in there, so maybe a little more Prussian. And it's getting kind of dark back here, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water. There we go. They work their way up into the hills there too, so I don't have it's not a really hard edge where the greenery starts. And the foothills begin. Because people live up in there and stuff. See, there's Shelly's house right there. It's right there. No. Actually, it's probably way over there, huh? Okay. And what else? I definitely lost a lot of my values back here. Just squinting my eyes, I can see this needs to go darker. So I thought it was being light. Same colors, cad yellow, cad red, mostly cad yellow, and then there's some violets back there too. Yeah, I want that to separate from the. I want it to separate from the sky. So as we get down to here, I want to hit these a little more cad red, cad yellow, a little more orange in this area. There we go. And then I'm going to add more cad red toward the bottom. So it kind of gives you a roadmap, just something to follow. And I might have been wrong about making these lighter. I think I need to make them darker, even though we won't see very many of them. Still, I think it needs a little bit of red in it. So that was lemon yellow and Prussian blue. I think I need a little bit of red in that. Just because the light bounces and it's a warm day. But still dried so. Wow. Now, if you'll notice, most of the shadows are on the violet side. So it might be harder to see, but I mean, they have more violet in them. And notice how the shadows way back here are much lighter. Way back there, much lighter. Whoops. And then as they get toward the foreground, then they get a little bit darker. And that's to do with the water in the air, how far away they are. So I'm going to make a violet out of ultramarine blue and I don't have any ultramarine blue out there. Ultramarine blue and magenta. And see, because you have orange under there already, it won't look totally violet. There we go. Let's see how this is back there. Yeah, something really light. Something in back there, just a couple. And a couple of those. So as you can see, I mean, I just put violet down there because it has orange under it. It looks kind of gray. So those just hit little ones, little light ones, way in the background. Then as we get to these foreground ones, we want to go a little heavier with the violet. Something over there too. And then in this one, even heavier. Really quite, I see the blue in it. Wow. You're going to really emphasize the ultramarine blue. Let's see now. Oh. And this will all be covered up with a tree, but I put it in anyway. Now let's go with those dark silhouettes. And you really can't see much color in them from that photo. So, you know, I would make up your own color, really. As long as you get the value right, use any color you want. Watch, I'll use Prussian blue this time with some magenta. Prussian blue, because why not? It'll still give you a violet. Here's where I wanted those trees to be. Just look at this, just looks so Chinese, right? Just let it bleed into the background too. So maybe we get a little bit of this
again.
background shrubbery into there. Say what again?
Hello.
Hello, you wanted me to say what again?
No, I was just saying you froze again, but now you're not frozen.
Oh, okay. It might be yours. You know,
Could be, that's true.
if other people aren't, is everybody else getting freezing?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
And are you up in Sierra Madre, Ann?
No, I know.
They have some issues up there sometimes.
I had some trouble with Spectrum net connection this morning.
Yeah.
Are you on Spectrum, man?
No, actually, AT&T. Usually it's good, but anyway, I'm fine now. Thank you.
Yeah. I have Spectrum too. I'd say, most of the time it's pretty good. All right, so there's that one coming in from the side. And maybe this one. Phil, if you want to take it all the way off, go ahead. Might be kind of nice. Sort of frames. Maybe it wasn't so obvious before. You certainly could use just violet, a really dark violet. Ultramarine blue. and some, what do you call it? Magenta. Ultramarine blue and magenta will give you that a violet. I made mine sort of a red violet, which actually kind of looks warm. I didn't think about that. Okay. That's why we do these. I'll add a little bit more to this. I mean, you certainly could work all this out in the final. You could just, without doing any of this. But I just want to let you know how you wonder why artists hit it. They hit good paintings often, and usually because they did their homework.
It's good for us to practice.
Yeah. Yeah, also, yeah, it gives you that practice. Practice, practice. Okay. Want me to zoom this out a little bit? Let's see. There you go. We'll take a photo. Right.
Nice composition, Rob.
Thank you.
These you using the two studies
Got a funny painting looking at me right now.
Rob, can we get a picture, please?
of the
Oh,
two studies?
I was long gone. Here. So, wait. Wait a second. I thought I had that right. Let me, did I zoom in on it? I guess. Oh, I know what I did. I there you go. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Just tell me when you're done.
Thank you.
So I can show you my funny painting from last night. I have my still life class at Art Center. This guy's looking at me. They have a picture like of a, I don't know, funny mannequin guy. Here, look at this. This is hilarious. Howdy doody. I call him, we were calling him, I don't know. I think I started off with Fred or something, but notice how everything's in a warm key. See how that? So we were studying how to paint in a warm key. We could do that, and we're actually going to do that right now. Inadvertently, but anyway, I thought that was fun. That's done in gouache, by the way. So you see how opaque you can get?
Yeah. Did you set up that still life?
Yeah, I took that shot a while ago. I set it up probably years ago. I just took pictures of it with my phone.
Is it an online class?
Yeah. This is my online class. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we were working with the warm theme. Sorry about this. I should have had this done. Sometimes I don't like to put the picture or my drawing or whatever I just did right on top of it though. About the noise. I know everything sort of gets amplified on this thing. you're like, oof, I don't like the sound of letters, opening letters, and I don't like tape. Some people really don't like that stuff. Okay. Move it over this way a little bit. All right. Okay, so San Gabriel dusk. And you know, like for if you're wanting to do I'm sure many of you probably know these little points on here. Oh, there's Mount Lowell or something like that or whatever. There's Brown Mountain. People really know these mountains, so if you're looking to show it or anything like that, and you care, because oftentimes I don't care. I just want to do a good painting. But I have like when I'm selling these, like if I do a big one, you don't have to be extremely accurate. There's a couple of artists that sell in galleries around me that, wow, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but he doesn't, I think he went to Art Center, but he doesn't live around here. He lives up in the Sierras, which I think is really cool. But he sells in the gallery right by me, and he does these extremely detailed paintings of our mountains here. He still sells in the gallery next to me. Can't think of his name. So,
which gallery is that, Rob?
the Gallery Gabri. He sells in that one. I'm in the Arnon. Okay, so I see this.
Where are these galleries?
Behind that Pasadena Playhouse on Green Street.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I've been there for years.
Really?
Many
Okay.
years, yeah.
All right. You gotta throw this stuff out for us so we can know these things.
I know. I'm working on all that right now. I'm going to be doing some serious marketing here pretty soon.
Oh, good.
I mean, I am serious. Wait, see the light on my face? I'm so serious. I know the light. I feel like the light from down here makes me look like I'm in a horror movie or something. Okay, so some of these, I'm just drawing these little shapes of shadow. You know what? Here's what you could do. Take the main lines of the mountain. Okay, so we've got this one here. That's that main shadow up at the top, in the middle. And see how it has another, they're called fire roads. They're right on top of the ridges of the mountains. You can see the fire roads. Okay, so just follow the fire road down. And it comes down and down into the, okay. So there's really only, there's this ridge here, one. There's this ridge, two. And if you get these main ridges in there, I think it really helps. That's the way I usually do it. We got this one here, and all these little pyramid shapes in there. And then, you'll see those scars on the side of the, just kind of going up. Those are roads. So you can put them in or leave them out, whatever. It's up to you. So those are some main things. Now, if you have a ridge here and the light's really low, it's going to cast a shadow. And you can see right here, there's that shadow down below. And it kind of comes down and up and down. And so you get that little mass. All right, and this one kind of comes back and up and around. There's that fire road at the top. Now you get this second shadow, which kind of goes, just casts itself a shadow. And I'm telling you, when I paint it, it changes every minute. So I'll be looking at it, and then there's a whole new shadow. And I'll go, oh, I like that better. You got to take out what I did. And then I get it just right. I go, I like that. And then I look up there and I go, oh, it looks even better now. So I got to take it out. I have changed them like 5 times as I'm painting them. And then I'm looking at it and go, I like this, but I really liked it before. Darn it. Shouldn't have changed it. And then the looks. I get the looks from people. All right. Honey, don't get near him. He talks to himself. And answers too. Okay.
Rob, did you Photoshop any of these photos?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you mean, did you think I actually made them more
I
saturated
know
than they
if
really
the
are?
guy-
No, I actually did. In fact,
That's one.
when I was there, I can tell you, I look at the mountains often later in the day, and I'm always so blown away how the camera can't pick up how saturated it really is. Much more saturated. Well, I'm making a big squirrely mess here, aren't I? All I'm doing right here is just defining my lights and shadows with line. And sometimes that can be a little, what's the word? It can get a little confusing.
Tedious.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't call this that tedious, but yeah, I guess it's tedious. Okay. So if you're trying to figure out which one's the light and which one's the shadow, what you can do is just kind of go like this. There's the shadow, there's the shadow. If that helps you. I usually don't, because I don't want scribble marks in my painting. Sometimes I don't mind. Depends. If I'm really just quick sketching, then I just leave them all in there. But if I'm trying to do a more worked out painting, all right, I'm gonna go switch over to my daytime picture. And I just want to know generally, where do I want my tree? And brush. And then branches. And the branches from above. So see, hopefully it's moving your eye around, darting you back down. It's just to create interest, that's all. I guess the other way to do this would have been to just lay down all our tones first, but then you got to let it dry. See, then I would go over it with the shadows. I think this is probably the best way, actually. Okay. What do we got? Plenty of time. And you'll put little, you'll find little areas to put little sub shadows in there as well. So don't think you have to put every darn shadow in there right now. These are basically, I've got like 5 main shadows on here. And already it's still looking like a mess. Okay, let's take some green sky. I want that twilight sky. So Prussian blue and lemon yellow. Pretty light. You sure could throw a little bit of rose in there or something, or maybe a touch of magenta. I just hinted a little bit of that rose color. I'm sorry, a little magenta in there. Just gonna get that part off my mountain. Now with the background, make yourself an orange. Cad red, cad yellow, and normally I would use a lot of white in this. But what I do is I just add water. Just add water. It doesn't matter if it gets into the sky. It'll be great. Just especially want to get that on the background mountains. Because down here we're just going to make it a little bit darker, a little more. So as we get lower, just add some more cad red, cad yellow. Oh, that's strong. That forces me to use more water in it. Move it around. Some more yellow in it too. Cad yellow. There we go. Kind of brings it forward. And we get deep into those cad reds down here. I'm going to try a little magenta and see if that works. Yeah. So it fades from something a little bit lighter to something a little bit more saturated and a little bit darker. A little more saturated, a little darker as it gets toward the bottom. So some of that green, I'm just going to use Prussian blue and a little bit of lemon yellow. Let it mix right into the oranges. That'll gray it a little bit. Nice and simple. You see, maybe a little bit bluer. I'm gonna try some ultramarine blue. Yeah, I like that. A little ultramarine blue in there. So look at that. We've almost got a painting now. And so since the green just sort of fades up on the mountain, why not just leave it? I'm probably gonna, take out most of it anyway with the brush. That'll give you a beautiful little edge right there. So just let it bleed. And I just feel it. We're probably ready on the background. See, some of mine bled up into the sky. I think that's just fine. Gives you that free and easy, I don't know, is that the word? Oh, you remember that store, Fresh and Easy? Are they gone now, or? Fresh and easy look. I thought it was a good concept in a store, but then I never went. Because Traders is my favorite concept. Although, have anyone been to the grocery outlet? I found some pretty good deals there. I'm kind of liking it. They should make me their salesman, huh? No, they have interesting stuff there. They get all kinds of new stuff. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to try this just with ultramarine blue and see how it works for some of these background ones. Wouldn't want to go any darker than that, yeah. So for some of these little background shadows, just
plain ultramarine blue?
Yeah, I think so. Because maybe a little magenta in there. Let me try a little magenta. Yeah, a little magenta. A little magenta, I think looks good. Some of these ones, you get a couple little, this back one is in silhouette. It's very light. Just one big sort of backside. I sort of stretched it out a little bit. Like over here too, I had to add a little bit. I had to use my imagination. I try to throw as many syllables in there as I can. Imagination.
You speak French, Rob?
No. I took it in college and I forgot everything. I think I got some of the nasal, the rin, ron, joue. Okay, mon chéri. Okay, I better shut up.
That's from Pepe Le Pew.
Is that from Pepe Le Pew?
Mon chéri.
Mon chéri. I'm Pepe Le Pew. I swear some of these shadows getting kind of blue in there. That's probably where I got it. Oh my gosh, how sad. What's wrong with Pepe Le Pew? I like him.
I did like him when I was a kid, but I resaw one of them recently, and oh my god, that is insanely cringy and kind of awful now.
It is? Oh, I haven't
him
seen
when I
any of
was
that
a
stuff
kid.
in some.
Well, the Me Too movement kind of put paid to that kind of stuff.
Okay, let's see here now. So, as this shadow gets toward the bottom, notice how it gets darker. Oh, I got a lot of violet in that. I'm seeing a lot more blue. Well, I certainly don't mind the violet though, so I think I'm gonna keep it. If these get dark, and just remember they're gonna dry lighter, so we may have to go over them. I think all of this just goes out in the shadow right there. So that's just these little guys off to the side. There's these little trailers in there too. You could definitely probably a little water. You could certainly throw in a couple of those. They're fun. Oh man, I'm in heaven when I'm up at the Sierra Nevadas. Just like 11,000 feet high, doing watercolors of. And this is what you do. That's all there is up there. And everything's so craggy. That's great. Love those, like the glacial lakes. They're so like aqua green. So I think that what'll help you is just getting a lot of these big shadows in there first. Then we can, goof off with the smaller ones. So I'm gonna go for, all right, this is the main one here, this sort of one that goes up and around, and it's maybe a little bluer than that. Again, I'm just using ultramarine and magenta. Okay, so if this side casts the shadow over onto the other side, and then it just goes around the ridges, up and down ridges, and then it sort of gets lost behind this big ridge. Oops. And then comes back up. And there's some over here I have to make up. You can see we're running into the classic watercolor problem of I made everything too light, it dried way too light. So it could look good though, honestly. But oftentimes I have to come back and just glaze back into things, and that's fine. On this side, we get this sort of a triangular one over here. Like a triangle. And on this side, it just gets kind of rocky. There's just a whole bunch of little shadows, so I'm just gonna fake it. So that would be my first shadow, my second shadow here. Same colors, but I am adding a little more paint to it, a little bit more because it's a little darker. It's subtle too. You know, sometimes I just paint them all light first, and then I make the medium ones a little darker, and then they make the foreground ones a little darker. We're probably going to end up doing that anyway, because most likely these will end up drying pretty light. Right, and there's, all right, this one just kind of just goes down. So that's that second main one. So you got this one up here, and then that second sort of main one there. Because it's really easy to get lost. Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to paint something and then I get lost in the topography or whatever they call it. I'm going to put this shadow behind this tree. Even though we'll be covering most of it up, there'll be little bits and pieces of it showing through, and it works. Little guys coming up there. And then, so that's behind the tree. There's that thing. And then right here, I think we get another one. So there's this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then some of the little sub shadows, I call them. You don't have to put them all in. But like, for instance, up here at the top, very light, a couple of those, a couple of these. Anytime you have a little peak like this, you're almost bound to have a little shadow on the other side of it, on the right side, since the light's coming from the left. So, do I ever make them up? Never. Never, it's against my, well, okay, once in a while. Once in a while. But mostly, okay, well, almost every time, okay. Okay, every time. Every single, yes, I make them up. Okay, I'm guilty. So anytime you have a little bump like this, you're most likely going to get something on the other side. So look for it. Makes sense. Honestly, painting mountains like this with lots of shadows, you want to do a bunch of them. A lot of sketching, lots of. I find this would really help you. Get my little sketchbook out here, because I do a lot of these. Let me find one here. Just trying to find mountains. Good. Tons and tons. Just doing tons of these. Tons and tons of these will help you. Quick little marker renders. I'm only using the white of the paper and a gray, and then black. Now here it looks like I used maybe 2 grays. But sometimes I do them in gouache like this, which can give you an infinite amount of grays, but I think I'm really sticking to mainly the white, the middle, and the dark. And then, sometimes I add a couple ditties in there. So, but these will really help you going around doing lots of quick sketches like this. So good. And sometimes I do them, look, there's an analysis of the form. You can see that. So I'm with sort of gridding lines, I'm telling myself, this is going up this way and across this way. And I do it, I do it on the bottom too. I just do them over and over and over. But like this sketch right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Just getting really into all of these hills and valleys and ridges and crevices. All right. It's not bad, but I just wish my values were darker. If you have a hair dryer, you might want to hit it. Now, I mean, mine's almost dry. I'm going to hit it with a hair dryer. I know, am I cheating if I do that? I don't have to. No, I don't have to. All right, I won't. I just convinced myself not to. Okay, yeah, now looking at the values on the mountain, yeah, they're just darker. So then I'm going to go over the orange, cad red, cad yellow. This time I'm going to make myself a batch of it. This usually goes way faster because you're just thinking about value. Now, the question is, should I go over my shadows and make them orange? Yeah. Just go right over them. It'll group them, it'll harmonize them into your other colors. It will gray them a little bit too. If you want to get some serious color out of your shadows, like really blue, you can glaze, you can use gouache in them. See, now I got really saturated for that far away, so I'm going to just pull that down into these values. Keep this up here not quite as strong. In saturation. Yeah. If yours wasn't as dry as mine, then they might be bleeding, and that might not be bad. That might not be a bad thing.
So, Rob, I'm wondering what you're doing. So instead of darkening your shadows, you're doing a glaze over everything?
Yeah,
And
I'm glazing over the whole thing, which will darken the shadows too.
And then will you go later on, go back and darken the shadows even more? Or not?
If it needs it, probably, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I won't take the shadows over the lights. I swear. Even though I know I'm taking the lights over the shadows. You know, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the shadows to get too different than the lights. And if I just go over the shadows with more blue and this with more orange, right? Yeah. They'll look like, you know, orangey lights and blue shadows, and they'll get maybe a little too separate from each other. You know, there's a lot of orange in these shadows, by the way. The light bounces all over the place this time of day. Yeah, just getting a little more saturation down here. Oh, some more browns and reds. Let's see. Especially that cad red, I'm seeing a lot of. And the green too gets, you know, I would work some of that orange right into the green. That's what I should have done on the base. The green is made with Prussian blue and lemon yellow. But here, what should I take a little orange into that? Yeah, I like that. It really harmonizes the colors. I think I'm just going to leave it like this. What I'm doing, because both colors are wet, I'm just transitioning the color a little bit. So you get more of a gradation. You know, these shadows are really light. I think maybe leave them like that back there, though. Right now, if I glaze the shadows in there, it will get a lot of bleeding. So, do I do that or do I wait? And the cautious way to do it is to wait. So I'll do it the other way. Okay, and let's take some of these. Yeah. That was just violet. Oh, I like that. Instantly like that. So magenta and ultramarine blue. Same here. See, mostly I'm getting them down here. Yeah. That's going to give me wet into wet. It's probably going to bleed. So I might have to do a lot of damage control. A couple of those shadows in there. That got a little light on me. By the way, the shadows will get a little bluer as they get further away too. See, remember, red comes forward, blue recedes. So if you emphasize the blues as you go back, usually you get more of a sense of depth. got pretty dark. Just want it a little bit darker. Where's those? I really see the blue in them. Wow. You know, and there's other little shadows in there too. Little fun ones. Try not to put too many in there. Sometimes it can get, you get really carried away, and then they just look, I don't know, like dirty laundry. Or clean laundry. Laundry that you just took out of the dryer. And it's all cragging all over the place. All kinds of craggies. And I'm going to leave that and just let's paint some foreground. Then we may come back into it and make some adjustments. We'll see. So let's get some pretty dark colors, maybe ultramarine, magenta, cad red. Cad red's not that dark. I just sort of like that in the color comp. I used a little bit of red. Yeah. So now I'm looking at the daytime one. And I know you have a lot of lights and shadows in there, but I'm painting it as though it's later in the day. I really wanted a little more red in that. So even though we have a dark here, I wanted a little more red. And this is going to be nice too, because it's going to bleed into the, we're going to get some nice soft edges. So it's like I'm dry brushing. See, here it's a dry brush. But over here, it starts getting wet into wet. So we get that beautiful duality.
Ultramarine and cad red and what else?
Some magenta.
Oh, magenta. Okay, thanks.
Sure, you know, any darks you like, really. Oh, I was hoping someone would say, "Oh, okay. What about?" So I could say, "No, don't have that one." Darn it. What's an awful dark? Well, black, I guess. What about Payne's Gray? No, can't use Payne's Gray. Just joking. I make paint.
Are you going to go on vacation at all this summer?
Am I going on vacation?
Yeah, you and your family, or are you going to wait till the fall or something? I mean, like get into the Sierras, which I know that's where you really want to go, it sounds like.
I always want to go there.
Yeah.
You know, now I got this. Are you ready? Now, some of you who've known me for a while know that I get called for jury duty every year. Well, they did it again. Like, right? How many of you have been in my classes where I've been called for jury duty? This is like ridiculous. So I'm called for jury duty again. So now I got to take my very vacation and go on jury duty. It's like,
When is the jury duty?
Well, you can postpone it, but I have to do it on a vacation because I don't have any other time.
When's it going to be though?
Well, right now, and then I can postpone it if I want to.
I see.
So I'm going to try to get it for August.
That's horrible. Sorry that
But
happened.
I'm still going to have to. I'll have classes going on then, and I'll have to postpone them. I don't know what I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Don't be
It's every year though. It's like every year. I don't get it. Am I on like the? Did I piss off a judge or something?
That's horrible.
Again, it's like I get put to the front of the line every year and a half. It's like I think it's 18 months.
You might have to do it, but the whole last year, everybody who had service, it just was dismissed. You called in on the first day and they said, oh, the courts aren't back on schedule and you're dismissed. You did your service. So.
Why? People still have to get their court cases heard, don't they? I guess they're just postponing everything.
Yeah, they're starting. Yeah, there's a big docket.
They have not heard any cases in the last year. They haven't called any juries.
Oh.
My husband does criminal law and not had a single jury trial the past year.
Wow.
Yeah, weirdly, they were still running the jury pool, so you still had to call in, but they just dismiss it.
See, now I'm looking at my painting here, and the values, this dark I'm putting down isn't anywhere near what you're seeing. You're seeing pure black, and I'm seeing about a 7, maybe an 8 value. Isn't that weird? So anyway, just note that I'm not making this black. I'm seeing all kinds of subtlety to the color. Let's see, wait, so see, sometimes when I hold my hand up next to it, see, it gets lighter, and then if I take my hand away, it gets a little darker. Let's see if I try this. Does that lighten it up? I don't know. Well, whatever. Okay. So anyway, bushes and bushes. Just dry brush. Whichever way you like. I like to let little areas come through so you can see. That's what's so great about dry brushing. So when I have a little area like that, I might throw a little branch through it like this, just like that. You get this mysterious little. It looks like there's millions of branches when you really only put like 5 in there. Okay. Then we have this one from the side here. Let's see. trying to get a nice looking branch out there. Same here. Notice, see all the arches, the arcing, like this? They usually arc. Now, I mean, different trees will do it in different ways, but. And then you get these knuckles, like you come up over here where maybe you had like a tree, a branch at one time that broke off. So you get these little kind of knuckly things. So definitely look at the white sycamores we have around here. They have all that knucklation, knucklage. And then I'll show you the tree, the leaves on. I mean, technically, the leaf on a sycamore goes something like that. So you'll want to note that maybe from the side it might look more like this. Or something. So, but it's these sort of shapes you're interested in. So, unless you want to do oaks and go knock yourself out, but anyway. So I just throw them in with little shapes like that. So I'm not nearly as literal as it was on the other. On my little demo there, because you get leaves overlapping each other, and they make interesting, funny little shapes. You usually hardly ever see the leaves all by themselves, like one leaf all by itself. They're there, but it's not the majority of them. I mean, you could put one like right there. It's one leaf all by himself. He's got his own little twig. And I love these, the little pods. They're great. Oops. You never know where the thing's going to take me. But that's so, those little pods are great. And we have a few, I mean, over here, I wouldn't mind putting a few here too. Okay, so maybe I need to beef up my tree a little bit more. Using the side of my brush. Yeah. Maybe they should come right out of the piece. Nah, that one's already coming out. So now you just, it's a really good idea to look at it, maybe get up and look at it. I think I'm going to add some more warmth into the darkness here. I think maybe and so this has nothing to do with what I'm looking at and everything to do with what I'm thinking about whatever whatever kind of mood you're trying to convey. So I'm just, so I add a little warmth to that. That was cad red. Yeah. Oh, and magenta. I'm sorry, I add a little bit of magenta to that. And I'm just dry brushing that right into it. Yeah. I know it's, when it dries, you won't see it as much, but I just want a little warmth in my darks. Remember, these are all in silhouette, so you can put, I know they're probably green, but they're just silhouetting. Well, I think this could go darker back here. So the question is, can you glaze something back there that's been overlapped by all this? I don't know. I was asking you. I'm just joking. Yeah, sure. That's just orange. So cad red, cad yellow. You know what? There was a little bit of ultramarine blue in that. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is just add water. And fade it back. And you may get some bleeding, but it'll be okay. You can just do the damage control. I just take it easy around the leaves. I don't scrub into them too hard. Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't pure orange. It had a little bit of ultramarine blue in it. And then back here, just very light. See, so you can glaze over things that you already did. The key is don't sit there and scrub on it, or it'll fight you. Now my sky looks white. I said I was looking to get the contrast, and I'm looking at my sky going, well, I kind of wish you were not so light. By the way, I did that now. I have all this light stuff back here coming through my dark. So I'm just going to glaze those down with the same color I put down there in the beginning. Prussian blue with a little lemon. Just knock back some of those. So see I'm glazing right over? You can do it. I'm going to go for my green sky again. Just Prussian blue and a little bit of lemon yellow. Ooh, I like that.
What are you putting down there, Rob?
Prussian blue and lemon yellow.
To make the green pop a little bit more, or?
Yeah, I wanted it a little bit darker.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it will be a little bit more saturated too. Oops. See, I'm getting the leaves bleeding into it. Now gray my color. Be careful. I could have left a couple of them for clouds. Huh. See, now I'm getting that bleed. Oh, you can hardly even see it, huh? It is bleeding in there a little bit, but I think I'm going to leave that. I think I like it. That's one of those things that watercolor does, mysteriously, and just let it paint itself. Because it's not done. It's got a lot of cooking to do. I have seen every color in the sky. I don't think there's one color I haven't seen in the sky. Even opera. Aha, I know, George, you were thinking it, weren't you? Just joking.
Yes, in fact, I was just doing it.
Oh, see? Okay. I want to get everything ready for crit time in a few minutes. I'll let you guys finish up. Let's see, we got okay, I'll start sharing now. Okay. We've got Charlotte. Oh, wrong one. Must be from another class. Ethel. All right, that's a nice one.
Oh, thank you. My shadows kind of got away from me. When you went in with ultramarine, I tried that and it all turned green.
Oh, turned green, huh?
Yeah. And so
Maybe I didn't use as much.
Maybe something went wrong. So I went in with, I changed it to purple. So
I was gonna say, it doesn't look, I see a little green in there, but not.
Yeah,
not
I kind of obliterated most of it.
Well, it looks good.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I know, right? I mean, nobody knows what a ride it can be for us, you know? We're going, whoa, I've almost lost it. Damage control.
And then the last thing I did was go in with the red along the bottom. It just,
The red right here on the bottom?
yeah, that stuff.
That looks good. I think that really moves it forward.
Yeah, I kind of work with my camera lens and hold that and paint while I'm looking through the camera
Yeah,
for the finish anyway.
yeah. Let's see.
My only problem I seem to not like so much is that right there where you are.
Where? Here?
No, that
Oh, this thing?
yeah, that thing. And right above where the branch ends, it kind of all makes a bubble. So I
Right
guess
above where the branch ends, right here?
where the top of the tree to the bottom of that branch, there's a little light spot that to me is, yeah, right there.
Yeah, so I would glaze that down later.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for it to dry.
See if it bugs you, and then
Yeah.
just take a little glaze over it. Yeah, I love this area. Wow, this area is,
Thanks. Yeah,
It's a little-
that worked.
look at it. It's its own little painting.
Oh, good.
All right, oops.
The
Okay,
branches, I think, I don't know, they give an oriental feel which doesn't go with the rest of the painting, so I'm thinking maybe I need.
yeah, I did notice that. Let's see. Yeah, like up here.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it does.
oh, okay.
Well, I see what you're saying, though. Maybe you should have done the whole thing very calligraphic if you were going to do that.
Yeah,
Kind of a blend, but
yeah, I tried to blend it, I made it, I mushed them a little so that it wouldn't look quite so.
so then maybe wait for it to dry a little bit and then hit a couple right next to your more calligraphic strokes. Maybe come back and hit a couple. Let's see.
Maybe like something wetter and lighter, just.
Yeah. Some
Oh,
of
yeah.
these little strokes that are kind of more like leafage.
Yeah, okay.
Just you don't need very many of them.
No,
This ends up just being stuff in the background or something.
yeah, cool. Great.
I love it. I would see how most of your foliage is right at the very end.
Yeah,
I occasionally take some off and
yeah, that would probably help. That's.
Yeah.
I didn't
just a
want-
few. Yeah.
Super.
It's not wrong what you did. I just add a couple more around,
Yeah,
like as though they're overlapping.
a little more, yeah, because it does,
Yeah.
it look a little fuller. All right.
Yeah,
Super.
a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice piece. Okay, Claire. Oops, let me get my drawings up here. That's pretty cool. Your blues in your tree up here in the foreground really jump. That's a good color. Is that just ultramarine?
That's just ultramarine, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a good move.
Thank you.
And it really feels, I mean, gosh, if you've ever been inside all these silhouetted trees, and then you look at the mountain behind it, it can really blast its way through. You got a real feeling of that. Because these are so dark in the foreground, you can really feel the light coming off this mountain, blasting through.
Maybe I should darken the things on the right a little bit.
Darken what on the right?
On the bushes on the right.
Oh.
Maybe I should do that then as well. Darken them up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they would be a stronger silhouette, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe a little bit of blue in there. I don't have the right color blue. You have that dark. It's nice.
This is hot press.
Yep.
And
maybe some leafage on here, a little bit more.
more leafage, okay.
A little bit overlapping. So think of you get a tree, you get a leaf overlapping another one,
Yeah.
You might get, not everywhere, but just a few more, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, if you're going to make this darker, I might add a few more darks down into here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
It's nice. I really like the value of this and the value of this and how it really makes it feel like the light is coming through all this at us. Yeah. Okay.
It helped having a hair dryer next to it.
Yeah, everybody should get a hair dryer. Just. I always get mine from the thrift store. If I'm in a thrift store and I find one, because I like to have a backup because they always die. So.
Yeah.
Get all the use out of them you can. But sometimes they're just clogged up with hair or junk in there. I just clean them out. But yeah, if you have an old hair dryer, it's a good thing to have. All right. Thank you, Claire. And Katie. Well, you got some good colors and values on this one.
Oh, good.
What do you think?
I really liked Ethel's.
Yeah. Ethel's been painting a while.
Oh.
See what I'm doing here? I'm taking a little.
Huh?
Just a little bit of your mountain over here.
Yeah. Did I lose it?
Just take a little bit of this color right here.
Oh, I did lose it. Yeah.
Just pull it right there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That way you'll get more overlapping.
Okay. I didn't like my second tree right below the top one on the right. See,
Here?
there's another branch, or the branch above that. Yeah. I could lose that, I think.
Let's see. Or what you could do is give yourself a couple of stems with just a few out a little further.
Longer? Okay.
Couple, yeah.
Okay.
Because you have plenty, most of your folds just right on the branch.
Yeah.
And I would pull just a couple out, way out. I mean, if you do it like this, it's going to look like a bug. Leg, so, be careful.
Okay. And I don't think I needed to be quite so literal with the red, but.
The red, well, I mean, you know what?
I like that red. It's the red up in the branches on the upper right or upper left.
Yeah, well, it looks like fruit or something. So what you could do is just do a quick glaze, just glaze it down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I oftentimes have to do that. Just a quick glaze. That's called tuning it in.
Tuning it in. Okay.
Yeah, you jumped the gun and got way red. Okay, so then you back off on it and glaze it in. Yeah.
Yeah. My tree's a little wonky, but
so It's that feeling of contained.
Yeah.
So I would take a little bit out here,
Okay.
you know, just here and there.
Okay.
Try not to make them equal, you know, with like eyebrows and hello. No, I'm just joking. You know, because artists will do it, you know. So you're starting to do it here. Okay. So I would continue on that a little bit further out.
Okay.
You know, and where you're starting to do it, you don't need very many of them. And I like to dry brush it because somewhat often the dry brushing does it all on its own.
Okay.
It sort of randomizes things. So I might try a little bit up here too, a little here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
But your color and your values, I think, look great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, did you like my sky?
I do like the sky. Yeah, I didn't have any. Is it greener than I'm looking at?
Yeah, I think it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like to paint a green sky personally. I mean, it's rare, but you see them this time of day.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks, Rob.
Yep. Thank you. All right, Teresa. There we go. Was the other one better? No? Oh, I can zoom in on it. All right, Teresa. Are you there, Teresa?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Problem.
Hi, Rob.
Hello. Now, I could see this being a little bit, maybe a little darker. Just take what you have already and glaze that down a little bit.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Just a little, and see that'll harmonize your color. So, and then, you know, come back into some edges if you need to. You probably won't need to. And so just to increase the value a little bit darker, that's what I'm thinking.
From the very top.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would make it a lighter at the top, a lighter orange, and then deeper and deeper and deeper and more red. Yeah, toward the bottom, definitely.
Okay.
You know, and if you like to, you could avoid some of these shadows, but oftentimes I find that they end up looking really light if I avoid them.
Should I put some deeper in the middle of the shadows? I mean, they look sort of flat to me.
Right, so you hit a little dark down into the valleys, in the deep part of the valley. I love doing that. That's great. Yeah, mine look pretty flat too. I tell you what though, just a little, like a little bit. Like what you did here.
Uh-huh.
Just little bits. Maybe down in here or down in here. This looks a little light in value. I like the color though.
Okay. Well, I'll go over it with the glaze.
Yeah,
the
same
more
color.
orangey red, yeah. Okay.
And then maybe again we're oops. This is pretty round.
I know. After I did it, I saw that it was very round.
Just hit a little edges here and there.
Okay.
Yeah. And this, I would take it into the sky a little bit more. That way, it really clearly overlaps the mountain. And then with your leaf shapes, which are just fine, I would have a couple of the leaves farther away from the branches, way out here, just to break up them being right on the branch.
Okay.
And then way out there. Okay, and the same with this one. See how they kind of bunch up?
Yep.
So then we just take a couple of leaves over. Just leave them bunched up because they do bunch up. So, but you want to also a couple of little loners. out there. Okay. Maybe even over there.
All righty. That looks good. Yep.
Small things, but well, maybe the glaze isn't a small thing, but yeah, just overall, that's my biggest. The biggest idea is it's just the value of the mountain looks pretty light. So, and I had to deepen mine 3 times. So,
all righty.
Most people do. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Louisa. All right.
Hi.
Looking good. Good colors and values on the mountains.
Thank you.
And then, so I don't think you need to go any darker with your mountain. I'd say the only thing I'm really seeing is, this is just kind of a ball. So just give it a little hair extensions over here,
Yeah.
here and there. And, when they fall into little shapes, little contained shapes, just sort of break those up. That's all I'm seeing almost everywhere. So yeah, this feels like a kind of a shape. So then just break it up a little bit. Just pull some things away from it. A couple of little loners or something way off over here with a little stem hanging off it. I mean, it really doesn't take very much. Oops. So yeah.
I don't like that tree on the right. I was trying to make it different than the one on the left. In fact, I don't like these two. The lower branch on the left was in front of one of the shadow of the mountain, and so it turned into a blob. So, so I want this more delicate on the left.
Yeah.
And then on the right, there's something wrong with, I don't know if it is the angle of the trunk or, in any case, I don't like these 2 trees.
Well, they're not easy to do, One thing I will say, spending a little time sketching trees and limbs and stems and sticks and things like that, it'll make a huge difference.
Yes.
I mean, really, spend maybe during the week sometimes spend a half an hour drawing and painting only branches.
Right. Practice. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a looseness to it. Yeah.
Yes.
After a while, what you can do is you can just, it's called muscle memory. You just let your inner Zen take over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good advice. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, landscape painting is very much a meditation. Ooh, very saturated. Love that saturation in them. You have such a loose, broken quality. You leave the white here coming through. Your silhouette over the bottom lets all kinds of stuff coming through. This has sort of your branches and leaves have sort of a, Eastern quality to them. Sumi-e sort of quality.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that you can, now can everybody see how she has the blue here and the red there? That means she's taking the color and mixing it right on the page. Which is very, very brave. I mean, I think that most you probably don't think it's brave because you do it all the time. But I think most watercolorists would find that a little crazy until you do it. And then you find out it's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
Love this. Look at this area. Wow. I'm mostly looking at your background right there. Blues, reds, yellows. Fun. Maybe a couple of branches and leaves overlapping each other.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be mostly beside each other. So that's about all I can say, really.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those branches were difficult for some reason. I just couldn't get them to read the right way. But the two on the sides, yeah.
Yeah. I think the one on the right side is a little more successful. Although this one up in the sky it's definitely got that calligraphy look to it. It's really cool. But you see how you have one curve here and then another curve there. I'm thinking maybe take a couple of sticks off one of them. So you break that up.
Oh, okay.
Because it looks like a curve, and straight coming out of the center. Whereas this one over here looks pretty random.
Okay.
And then all I could say is just maybe occasionally take something up and over and behind. See, you don't have any overlapping. Just one or two is all it takes.
Just a little bit, yeah.
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 And just like here too, just just a little bit of an overlap.
That helps so much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just probably one there would do it, something like that.
Just a little depth. Yeah. Great.
You might want to practice some on a page too, just on a piece of scratch paper. Just play around with it, and then that way when you go, you won't be cold when you go right into it, and you'll be like, okay.
Oh, good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Toby.
Thank you.
Beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Cynthia. All right. Wow, now the blue you're using for your branches got a little light, so they're not really feeling like silhouettes, which is no problem. Just go over them and make them a little darker. I think like this down here is what that's about the value we're looking for. Now, I know it probably seems like since these are up in the sky that they're silhouetting, but I would still make them darker just so they pop. Just do it like this. You're already doing it, so. All right. Again, I would feeling a little contained there. Give them a few little random outcroppings. Easy enough. I love these bushes. Even though I wouldn't, technically I think they're supposed to be a little darker. I wouldn't mess with them. They're really quite beautiful. Don't you? I love this right here. This too reminds me of Winslow Homer. I don't know why. Are you there? Who am I speaking to? I'm sorry. Cynthia.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
There you go. Okay. So maybe what happened with the background here with the shadows is that you went over them a little, maybe when they were a little too wet, and so they bled into each other and they got.
Yeah.
So then the lesson is to wait a little bit longer or hit it with a hairdryer or something.
Yeah.
And then, because your colors are great, your shades are great. So that got a little away from you. Okay. I've actually scrubbed them off and started all over again just to get it right. Even though I know that, the painting isn't going to make it as far as one of my better paintings or something. What I'll do is I'll just use it for an experiment. And, but you would be surprised. I've had paintings like this that have turned into some of my best paintings just because I decided to stick it out, and so it works. That blue in there maybe? Because we could use a little more contrast. So maybe come into some of these a little darker. Blue or blue violet. Some of those. especially right back here. Watch what happens when I put blue behind the tree. Kind of makes it feel far away. I don't know. Maybe a little lighter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. A little darker silhouettes up against the sky. All right. Come on. Oh, where's my little toolbox? Oh, there it is. Okay. And here's Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. You know, I couldn't do the mountains orange because of the forest fires I've seen in my mountains where I have my other cabin.
Yeah.
I can't paint orange trees or mountains because it reminds me of the fires.
I understand. Yeah.
So I did the other one.
Where is your other cabin?
Big Bear.
Oh.
And the last forest fire was just the worst.
Yes. Yes.
Did I tell you that my parents met in Big Bear?
They what?
My mom and dad met in Big Bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my grandma used to own a tavern up there.
Oh, which tavern? I probably know the tavern.
This is like in the 50s. I don't even know.
Oh, wow. That's when it was really nice. Our lake is drying up too.
Oh. It was a big deal back then, but yeah, I mean, so anyway, I got history in Big Bear.
I bet it was beautiful up there in the 50s.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have some photos. They're so beautiful. You're just kind of going, gosh.
It's a really beautiful place. I love to go there and R&R for every once in a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well, nice color. You did what I call a cool theme. So even though you have warm colors and your tree in the foreground, they're in the cool family. So all your colors sort of work into the cool theme.
Yeah, and I added some little white twigs.
Yeah. Did you do those in
gouache?
Yeah. Fun.
Our favorite gouache.
Yep.
And I'm painting on gessoed paper.
Oh. Gessoed watercolor paper.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just take the watercolor paper, gesso it. Now, why do you like that? Does it pull?
Well, I was gonna do an acrylic, and then I decided to do a watercolor.
Yeah.
You know, I think the left side needs something. Just
maybe a little more contrast,
or maybe another branch or something. It just kind of ends.
Because if you take this, if you go on this painting and take out the saturation, which I can't really do here, but you'll notice your tree doesn't really separate from your mountain in value. Now your branches certainly do. Those are beautiful colors. So just so you know, I mean.
Should I make the mountain darker around them?
Well, I mean.
Or make the tree darker against the mountain?
Or make the tree lighter. Wow.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of nice the way it is. So, but your only problem was with the left side, right?
Well, yeah, sort of.
So then what I was thinking was maybe a little more contrast over here. Whoops.
Yeah, maybe I can bring that magenta over to the left side. See the magenta next to the little houses?
Oh, over here? Oh, yeah. Over here?
Yeah.
I think that might be okay, yeah.
I don't know. It's a real lyrical painting.
It is. It's really light.
I'm sorry I don't do what you do, but I just
No,
can't
it's
do
okay.
fire mountains.
I don't mind.
Can't do orange in my mountains or trees.
No, I understand, yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Glad I could at least be here a little bit.
Yeah. Me too. Okay, Henry.
Hi, Rob.
Hi. Well, there it is. Wow, look how many colors you have back there. Wow. So very light in the background. So you didn't have to go as dark with your silhouettes because your whole value scheme is lighter.
Yeah, I just painted the daylight one.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Nice. You rebel, you. Now, are these strokes that you're using, is there a name for this stroke?
Yeah, I was studying a Korean artist, which I will be teaching tomorrow. He used this kind of stylized leaves.
Yeah.
It has like a character, it's just writing a calligraphy. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, tomorrow this time I'll be teaching his painting, so that's why I got practice here.
Now, just everybody, when you're doing branches, do you see how, I mean, you know, Henry's painted a million branches. So can you see how they just meander? Very random. And yours are, you know, on top of that, his are highly stylized. I mean, but he still hits all the little knuckles. See the little knuckle right here? I call them knuckles right here too, where it bloats out.
Yeah.
But yours are stylized as well. Now, so that's what happens. You learn how to paint things correctly, whatever that means. You know, you do a lot of study of nature, and then you add the stylization on top of that, and that's a very personal thing. Then you get your own look.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Henry look right here. That's nice. That's really, really beautiful.
Thanks.
Love this. I mean, I really don't have anything.
I have a question. If the mountains are too yellow, you think it should be more bluish or purplish?
In the mountain, do you think the
the yellows
for that daytime one?
Daytime, yeah.
I mean, I like what you've done, but I personally would have gone more with the blues.
Yeah.
I have a painting. In fact, I have a painting almost just like that.
Oh,
I couldn't find it right now, but
So
I definitely went more blue.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Again, it's a personal choice.
I see. Yeah, I got confused in the middle because in the beginning I was following the late day, the dawn look. Then I decided to go with the daylight. So that's why it's
right. So then, just remember the red colors will come forward.
Yeah, that red should be green there, right? Yeah.
So, but even these will, even though they're a lot bluer, they come more forward, and then so bluer colors will just recede more.
Yeah, I wish I had more green and blues maybe, so it would be receding to the back. Okay.
Break out the gouache.
Yeah, I got gouache like the opaque, diluted opaque lavenders there.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Paintings are never finished. They're never finished, I know. Lovely painting. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Diane? Ooh, I like your really geometric type shadows. Really cool. And they get that way. They really do. You're kind of adventurous here today, huh?
Well, I really got into doing the mountains. I kind of like those geometric shapes.
It is. It's so fun.
But then when I got into doing the trees and stuff and just the foliage, I think it just, I don't know, I have to kind of think about it. I wasn't really thrilled with my trees or the foliage. Just, I don't know. Maybe I should have kept with a more graphic style all throughout. I don't know.
No, that is something definitely. I'll kind of take and architecturalize a tree, and see it more geometric. You know,
Okay.
have you heard of this artist named William Wendt?
Yes.
The
Yes.
California Impressionist.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen how he architecturalizes his shapes? He's one to really steady.
Okay. I should do that.
Yeah.
I do have a William Wendt. I have a book with his work, so I should look at it.
Yeah. Now he's also, of course. Now, if you really want to push it, then I'd look at Maynard Dixon.
Okay.
Because this looks very much like Maynard Dixon right here.
Okay.
Yeah, Maynard Dixon, and then Victor Higgins is one of my favorites who does that.
Okay, Victor Higgins. Okay.
Higgins, yeah. Those are some. They really push geometry in their work.
Okay.
So, now I like how you came in from the side here. Wow, that's. Any reason for that? Or you just did you come over to really?
I think I was looking at the daytime photo, and it did come in from the side, so I just kind of kept to that.
Oh, okay.
The daytime photo does have one. I mean, I kind of followed it, so I don't know.
Yeah. And then occasionally I would overlap a few.
Okay, yeah. I
Or
heard
maybe
you talking
link a
about
couple,
that.
you know?
Yes.
Like one overlapping with a couple. You don't have to, I wouldn't want to clutter it up too much, but
okay.
They're all sort of right beside each other.
Yeah.
So I would just occasionally, like in these three, have another one
Okay.
in the background, or then, because you have enough all by themselves.
Okay. And I realized the bush and the tree are like the same height, which I didn't realize. The bush on the right just kept growing and growing and growing.
I hear you.
It started off shorter, and it's just.
I can't tell you how many times I've been drawing a tree and I'm going, oh my gosh, it's getting too big. What am I going to do? Yeah.
So, but I'll take your advice and do a practice page of just foliage and branches and things like that. So, yeah.
Yes. Maybe, what do you guys think of next time we take like 10 minutes and do a little practice on that?
I would love it.
Sounds good.
I need that.
So how about, we do something else with trees? Because I know trees are, they're in some, it's not just trees, but stems and weeds and any sort of thing.
And Rob, is next time, is today the last session, the last day of this session, and next time is in 2 weeks?
No, that we have one more.
Oh, we have one more next week, and then.
Yeah. And then the next one.
The next one starts on the 14th. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't take 1 week break in between.
Not this time, no.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. And all right. Thank you, Diane.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that would be a good thing to do. Marie. All right. Wow, you got some serious saturation in your mountains. I wish I would have got that much. I'm looking at mine like mine looks tame. Yeah, you got some nice saturation in those mountains. You see how the dark silhouettes, everybody? See how the dark silhouettes really, they make it feel later. You got that, you definitely get that real late day feeling.
Is it too light at the bottom, the green, or does that bother you?
It doesn't really bother me. But if it bothers you, I might add a little bit of orange to it. I don't know.
No, it doesn't bother me, but I just thought it probably wouldn't be that light. That's what I thought.
I mean, reflected light can get pretty light sometimes in shadows.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, maybe glaze it down with another like blue. Like I see you got that blue in there.
I kind of like it the way it is in a way.
Yeah. I like it the way it is. Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. It's a nice little, with all the warm,
Yeah.
it's a nice little break.
Yeah, it's sort of complementary, I guess. It's
Yeah.
sort of complementary
Sure
color.
is.
I'm going to Maine next week,
Ooh.
and I'm taking a watercolor class all week long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really excited. I've done that before. This is my 4th time.
Oh, you mean going to Maine?
Yeah, and taking painting classes there.
Where are you going to be painting mainly?
Well, it's in Blue Hill, the
Sorry.
Blue Hill area where
Blue Hill area. Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun.
It's through Wooden Boat School, and they offer painting classes, plein air painting classes there at Wooden Boat School. My husband, he builds wooden boats for a hobby.
That is really cool. Wow.
Yeah, so it's fun for both of us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Arts
it's
and crafts.
really- it's so charming there. It's just to die for. It's so cute. You know, the whole area. It's just.
You got the arts and crafts thing in the family. Wow.
Yeah.
See, my dad was a metal, he was a master farrier. So, and my mom was in, so we had the arts and crafts.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Love the grouping. I love how you took this right off the side, your tree.
Yeah.
And I could see, you see how a lot of your branches are right next to each other? So I could see a couple little overlaps.
Okay, definitely. Yeah.
Small little things. Here, I wouldn't do any more overlapping because it'll turn into a cluttery mess. If you add any more to it, I think it's fine the way it is. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Lisa. All right, Lisa.
I'm here. Hi.
You there?
Yep, I'm here.
Good color in the mountain.
Oh, thanks. I
I
kept
can
going
see the
over
shadows
it.
maybe a little bit on the bluer side.
Yeah, I added magenta to it because I was getting frustrated with I just kept going over it anyway. And the tree is way too round. I can't stand it, but it got bigger and bigger.
Just
I tried to fix it.
add a little bit off to the sides here and there.
Yeah.
And one right here. No, I'm just joking. That one looked like a heart.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what you need.
A little heart.
A heart-filled one right there. Right, you took. Right. I'm gonna take it. If anything, a little more over the mountain, and then, well, just like you've probably heard me say, a couple overlapping things.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That could be leaves, maybe a couple of branches.
Right.
Just sort of overlapping you only need like one or two of them, really. Here, feels like it kind of is overlapping. I don't know if you need, if maybe one or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's cool.
Yeah. And then, right. Again, so that kind of falls into a line too. So I would just give yourself a little outcropping once in a while.
Okay.
Then, okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. And Alicia? Okay. Love the red, yellow, and blue in the background. You know I'm crazy about that. Red, yellow, blue. Now these feel like they're on like the lawn is in the like a grassy area in the foreground, which doesn't bother me. I mean, it's done right. Let's see. And then, so see with your blue here, I mean your green here, I would put a little bit of variation in the color. See how you did right here?
Right. Yeah.
Just take the green and add a little bit of variation to the green. Maybe a yellow or green, maybe anything like that. Then I might go go over these and make them a little darker. Just so they silhouette more. You can see where it's silhouetting, it really pops. You know what's nice though? Maybe in the background, leave a couple of the light ones so you get this dark silhouette. And then you get a medium and then you get something light in the background. Just an idea of it. That's another way to get distance. And then as far as the shadows go, I would go over them and make them a little bit more definite. So they're clearly darker than the light. Just probably about this dark, like right in here. Or maybe like this dark right here, I would take that over the whole thing. So where it gets light, just take a little bit more of this. And that'll bring it all together.
Okay.
So it's, a little more definite shape, that's all. But I really like that color. So keep it about that value. And yeah, definitely make these darker. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, well, like I said before with some of the others too, I would take a couple of branches and overlap them once in a while. You have plenty of leaves overlapping each other, so I think just a couple of branches once in a while. I think maybe one or two here. Just occasionally you'll get a branch doing this. It'll kind of come off one side and then it'll just kind of meander over the other side. And you only need a couple, but it makes things look natural, because if you go out and look at trees normally, you'll see, it won't appear like the branches are overlapping. And then you look at them hard enough and there they are, they're overlapping. So I know, because I'm always trying to prove that one to myself. I'll go out and I go, okay, those branches aren't over. Oh, there it is. There it is, darn it. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Alicia.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And Gina. Woo!
Hello.
That is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Sheesh.
It wasn't dry yet when I took this picture.
I know. That won't dry for a while.
It probably looks different now.
Make sure it's on a level surface too. Or
it's on the table.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, maybe we should end what do you think? Maybe we should end next week on this paper, or a hot press paper or something.
It's pretty fun.
Hot press or Yupo or mineral paper. How about that for next week?
Sounds good to me, since I'm doing it anyway.
Oh, I like that. Just because we always get such a good response out of that. So I'll write that down. Great color, great. I don't know. It's beautiful. Wow, really.
I was having fun. You can tell, huh?
Yeah, I love these colors you're getting in the foreground too. And you're using just watercolor?
Yeah, it's that Japanese watercolor.
Oh. Yeah, I love these dark little silhouettes you're getting of the branches over the blue. They're great. And I like also when you squint your eyes, you look at it and it really comes together. Because when you look at it too close, you get lost in all the beautiful texture and you get far away. I can't really make this smaller, can I? No.
This is my office and my other.
Yeah, but you know what? This is your cabin.
Oh.
This is your Vista cabin.
All right, everybody. Make sure you're muted, okay? All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Gina.
Thank you.
Nice work. That's going to take hours to dry. You got the 3D going on in this one. Suzanne, are you there? Definitely. Look at the dimension she gets. So, what I would say in this is maybe not so dark.
Okay.
Some of these darks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went back and blotted it because it's supposed to be farther away, but
Yeah. Keep those darks like here. That's great. I would just lighten those, and these are great in the background. These are like a value or two too dark.
Right.
And that's only in the dark. So I think if you just lighten up the darks here, you want it darker than the rest, like something like this. But and that'll give you a little more depth out of it.
Okay.
You got great, fantastic form out of this, though. Great lights and shadows. I love how these come up and describe the form. See how she pulls them up this way? And then you can see the direction of her other strokes going this direction. She kind of pulls you up and around the forms. I can really see how we go up and down, and then we come up again and down. It's fantastic. I mean, that's about all I have to say, I think. Any questions?
well, I don't know that I mean, I just was concentrating on the mountains because I think they're so beautiful, but in trying to then show the town in front, it's so flat. You don't get a sense that it's closer.
So how about taking a few trees up and over these buildings once in a while? Let's see. Let me try in here. Oh man.
How big were you working?
The question was, how big is this? Looks like 9 by 12.
Yeah, 9 by 12.
Yeah.
A lot of detail.
Yeah. Suzanne knows how to detail a painting out.
Yeah, too much so.
Okay, so here's what's happening is that you're not getting very much overlapping over your buildings.
Right.
So I'm thinking if you just pull a few over your buildings once in a while, you'll get a lot more trees and things overlapping, because you want right now the buildings aren't coming from behind anything very much. Here and there a little bit, but I think the trees on there will give you more overlapping and more depth of field.
Okay.
So like this too, yeah, you just got this line here, so just a few little overlaps in there. Love all the color you're getting too. Look at that. Red, blue, green. Crazy. You guys make me feel so timid. Love that. Fantastic. Okay, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice one. Wow. I really like this one. Okay, Pamela. All right, Pamela. You gotta be proud of that one.
I am. Thank you.
Good for you. I mean, so again, just like the typical things, but your color back here is great.
Thank you.
And the violet is a good color to overlap it with. I might, just to break up this, just pull a little bit over here once in a while. And that might make your leaves a bit darker.
Okay.
All this. Same as this right in here.
Okay.
That'll give you a better silhouette, I think.
Okay, that sounds good.
Stronger silhouette. And And then we talked about earlier that maybe since this is your darkest shadow, it looks like you want your darker shadows to be in the foreground a little bit more. So I might darken up some of your shadows in the foreground.
Right.
And then see if you need to lighten this at all. If you do,
Oh.
you might not need to, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I would, now did you leave it light back here because you just like the contrast? Or?
It was how it came out when I
Okay,
was putting
yeah.
up, when you had us put the reds on,
Yeah.
that's how it came out.
Okay.
And I just thought it looked nice, so I left it that way.
Then.
Does that make sense?
That makes all the sense in the world. I mean,
Okay.
that sounds like an artist making decisions, you know, to me. Honestly, that's, yeah. And by the way, you see how unconscious you are with this right here?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, try to do everything like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose myself more into it. Like when you had us do, sort of the paler orange and then the darker orange and then putting the reds into it. By the time I was putting the reds into it, I had really loosened up a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought it was really an interesting painting. I really enjoyed it. And I had to step away from it because I knew I had more work to do, but it was becoming a blur to me. So now you've got me refocused. So thank you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just best to step back and take a breather and refocus, definitely. Okay, thank you, Pamela. And Mitsuko. All right, now you're using white. I was gonna say, are you using some sort of resist on that, but no. And the white, you're just dripping it on there, huh?
No, I have a second one.
Okay.
They say second.
Oh, no, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let it dry up a little bit, huh? You had to get that white mark right there.
That's excitement.
And you have the very sort of calligraphic type trees as well. Look at that. Wow. That's gorgeous. So everybody, you see how she put in her tree silhouette here? But you see how random the sides are? I mean, this has a nice flow to it, so.
I think I should have done a little bit more random, but it's getting bigger, so.
Yeah, I know, you don't want to get too big, huh? And maybe these values of the shadows way up. See, you got them really nice back here. I know you wanted these to jump forward, but I would keep this value for your shadows down here and maybe lighten that up a little bit.
Okay, all right. Yes.
And you've got the beautiful branches and leaves. I think it looks beautiful. It definitely looks. It's got that Sumi style to it. I don't know what to call it. But I like it. My favorite area is like this. I like this area.
Right. I didn't think of like a tree. I just jotted down the brush.
Really quick, huh?
Yeah.
Look how unconscious it looks.
I think overall, I should have done a little bit more freer, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Me too. I'm with you. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And Dorsha. All right. I like your studies.
I like my studies better than I do the finished product.
I like that you presented it all like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really get a much better sense of the scene with the value study. And then once I start adding colors, that's when I just don't feel good about it. Like the shading,
Yeah.
the shadows, I really messed up right in the middle. Yeah, that whole area there. Yeah.
So this, just a little dark, huh?
Well,
Can you lighten them up?
I tried. You can tell I tried on that one.
Did you put any white in it?
No, just kind of washing it out.
I might try a little white. A little white and a little touch of ultramarine blue.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll lighten it up. And if you do that, of course, you're probably going to have to lighten these ones up in the background, too.
Yeah, I did kind of the opposite of what you were telling us.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I know art, it's not 100%. It can be confusing.
Really?
And I would, with your leaves, see how they're beside each other. Every once in a while, just overlap a few like this.
Uh-huh.
Just take a few overlapping each other, and then maybe possibly like a stick.
Oh.
You know, overlapping.
Okay.
Yeah. They're small things, but I think it. Now your tree here in the foreground actually reads really nice.
Thank you.
Oh, just trying to move it up. There we go. And you decided not to overlap, and that's fine as long as you're clearly away from the mountain, and it is. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got so caught up in trying to do all these details that I didn't extend that out. I ran out
if you like.
Ran out of time.
Kind of
I may play with this some more, and I really like the idea of our continuing next week working on trees and mountains.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people think of when they think of plein air. All plein air means is painting outdoors, but most people think nature. I think, and I'm a nature crazy nature lover myself. So
I had fun with the colors. I mean,
yeah,
slapping them on, and I went from the light cad yellow to the dark cad yellow.
Yeah,
that added a richer look, I think. But so
maybe bluer and lighter.
Okay.
Blue and white.
Okay.
I mean, I can't get the right values with this, but that's so we can keep these ones at a lighter value scale, okay. And then up here is where you want to hit a little bit more darker, maybe even some violet in there.
I did try just putting some of that ultramarine blue in there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but I don't know. I just can't seem to get the right edges on these. Some people are so much more adept with their brushes to get the correct edging. And mine just sort of ends up like sloshed on. And
maybe you're using too much water. They're doing a lot of dry brushing,
Yeah.
We have some very experienced artists in here, but the great thing is, and I remember, I used to take classes at Vern Wilson's art class, and I was around some big, there was all these professionals in there, and I didn't even know the first thing about painting, and it was good being around all those people because you can see how they solve problems, you can hear what kind of issues they're having,
mm-hmm.
and it helps you. So it's the best way to learn, I think. By the way, see these values back here?
Mm-hmm.
See how those are really receding on you. So I would keep your values back here like that, and like these two, you want to keep them like that.
You mean lighter? Like
yeah,
that?
lighter, yeah.
Okay.
And a little bit bluer.
I might show you next week what I end up doing to it. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, sure. Or you can just send it over to me.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Torsha. Okay. And Phoebe. Hey, cool. You got the little roads in there.
Yeah, well, and therein lies a tale.
Oh yeah?
Well, I thought I'd try, let's try, masking fluid
Okay.
and I didn't get the tilt of the, anyway, it sent me down the wrong path. I ended up having to try and clean the thing out, and then I wasn't following anyway.
Oh, so did you do a lot of these with the masking?
No.
Oh.
Yes, I did. The top of that mountain,
yeah,
and roads, and that down to there. Yeah. Because I really wanted to keep that light fire road.
Uh-huh.
The edge, the crown of the hills. I didn't make it. I mean, I didn't succeed.
Well, I mean, they're definitely light.
Yeah. Yes.
I think more like this value.
Yeah.
Maybe just glaze them down. If they're too jump. See, anything with real high contrast and a lot of sharp edges is gonna.
That's what you look at.
Really jump out. Yeah. So then I might just to tone it down a little bit. Yeah. In fact, what I might do, because I'm thinking your whole mountains are kind of light.
Light.
So what would happen if we took some strong color into there? I mean, leave them in the background. I think in the background they're fine. But as we come forward, more of these, and then more of this.
Yes.
And then I'd take it right over your trees if you have to, and then take your trees right back over it. Your drawing, your draftsmanship of the trees and the branches and everything, I think is just great.
Thank you.
So I got no problems there. It's just the coloration of the mountains from.
Right.
So I just leave them like that. That feels far away already. But just a little more depth. Now you could do it the other way too. Start at the bottom. And then stretch it out with water, adding a little bit of orange.
Uh-huh.
And then just dissipate that into the, just slowly gradate that into nothing until it just ends up being that. I think that would work.
What about the shadows? I should have waited, I think, till the orange and yellow dried before I put those in, because are those too light?
I mean, technically a little bit, yeah. I mean, this isn't, because it's so far away. This isn't. Yeah. So maybe just come over your foreground ones a little stronger.
Yeah.
And I would start off with this one in the foreground. I wouldn't start off here, because this might be just fine. Start this one off a little darker, and then even darker than this.
Yeah.
And see if that comes forward.
Well, I'm going to do the whole thing over again because I love these mountains. I mean, they're right. And by the way, Rob, if we ever get back into going outside,
I know, huh?
I'm sure but I love these online classes. But, I'd be happy to invite the class over and you can use our house as a bathroom. But sitting along Parkview, they're, when we've got that pink hour or that golden hour.
Oh, man.
Especially after, hate to say it, but after there's been a fire, they are spectacular.
Oh my gosh. Hey, this time of year when you get those big giant monsoon clouds behind it?
Yes.
You must have a great view of that too, huh?
Yes, the thunder clouds, yes.
And they turn like pink or something? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Love to see it. I will probably take you up on that offer.
Please, please do. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm part of Urban Sketchers, and we've done
Yeah.
it a couple of times.
Oh, that's very tempting. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Phoebe. George.
Oh.
There it is.
It's flat though.
The lines will make things flat. Now, I mean, or when you contain a shape with line, it makes it more graphic. Not always totally flat, but so.
Yeah.
There's no overlapping because you left out the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, so if you're looking for depth, then you have to have a little overlapping and maybe a little atmospheric perspective. So when you have a really dark line, that'll kind of play with the depth. So I would keep these darks up here in the foreground and so on.
Mute them in the background there.
Yeah. And then so, like even Van Gogh probably wouldn't have a dark line. He'd probably have a lighter line around these things, something that would recede. He's pretty slick about the way he does perspective. I mean, a lot of people think that maybe he didn't know that much about it. He sure did. He did some very slick little, he's just so stylized. Anyway, I speak about Van Gogh because I know you love Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Love the sky, love the variation in the sky. And then I don't know, you might want to try, you got red shadows, maybe a little bluer, especially progressively bluer as it gets further up a height. You know, these are pretty far away mountains.
Yeah.
Whereas these, might be 10 miles closer or something, I don't know. So yeah, just the blue in the atmosphere as things get further away will do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the dark line will definitely flatten things out. So maybe try a light line if you want line around your forms. I know, I love it. Maybe a lighter line around things.
Yeah. How about if I extended the line into the mountain around the
Oh, I see. You mean in the interior shapes of the mountain?
like the service roads or
Try it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Almost like your sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gives some depth already.
I like it. Yeah, it does, because now you're separating this form from this form. Try it. I would do it. I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with these big, these main fire roads first, and then see what else you need to do.
Uh-huh.
But I always start off with the big shapes on the mountain first, and then I work my way into the smaller ones. It helps me to keep things, organized. Otherwise, I get lost. And then they have to send the rescue people after me. It's ridiculous.
Is it better, or maybe it isn't better, but anyway, to use black ink or watercolor? Is it a purist would use watercolor, or it doesn't matter?
I think it's purely a stylistic decision on your part. So here's a thicker line.
Yeah.
I like how fauvish that looks.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, great.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Julie, we got 3. We got 1.
Hey, I'm off book. I know I was just doing some oil sketches, trying to figure out about the colors, but I didn't know what you'd want, so I just popped them up like that. So whatever you want to do.
Oh, Oh, these are fine.
Basically, I did the one with the trees, the normal trees, and then I decided
Yeah.
I'd like cactuses better.
I like cactus a lot, and I love all this variation. Look at you've got the pinky hills, but you also have the yellow and the blue variation. Look how subtle she is.
I had intended also, just so you know, I have a shadow over these things in front, and I intended to put more like a big cloud shadow across the hills too. I didn't get around to it yet. So
Oh, that'd be, I
trying to
love
make the
cloud
sky more
shadows.
broken up, you know?
Aren't they the best? When you have like a shadow kind of goes around. And
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, that's my thought, is to put part of it in more shadow.
They're so great for staging and creating drama. So definitely do that.
Okay.
Moving up to this one up here. Now, by the way, you kept it dark on this one up here and lighter down here. Was there sort of a shadow?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give the idea that there was a shadow overhead that we weren't seeing, but I was going to sell it by putting more shadow on the back mountain.
Ooh, sell it. Definitely sell it. Okay. That's what we do. We make pictures and then we sell it. All right. Look at it. So there's a pitch. See, here's her pitch. Look at the blues so she's putting down spots of color. Okay, and then she echoes that pitch. Look at spots of color. So I would say, maybe, what do you think about spots of color in the sky? I mean, they don't have to be dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
There's another, maybe even back here, very, very subtle spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Let's sell it. That's exactly what some people say drive it home, some people say sell it, get all you can out of it, I've heard that expression.
Yeah, the next picture of is, I think, is a blow up of that one. If you of the second file is, I think, that middle one. Yeah.
This one.
So it's got a little, I tried to actually put a little bit of different blues up in the sky, but they're really not coming out well because there's also a lot of reflection.
Yeah.
Because oil,
Yeah, you're getting a lot of glare up there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy to take a good a picture without a lot of glare on it in oil. You really have to get your lighting right, and sometimes what I do is I take it at an angle and then I get it on Photoshop and I just distort it back into shape.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
If you have Photoshop, try it, and it works. Or you don't have to have any program where you can distort it will work. All right, that's gorgeous. I think let's talk about this. Let's see, you got this one, and not the other one, huh?
Well, it's just that's just the first one I did was just looking at the colors. I ended up using a naphtha red, a cobalt, and yellow ochre, and olive. But this also is very kind of like blown out with the oil, But you like those colors, though.
I like the colors. I like them a lot. Very analogous. You did this sort of brown tonal underpainting and then an analogous color scheme over it. What happens is that they kind of mix and you get a beautiful colored tonal experience. See how tonal the sky is and how fresh your paints are over here. So saturated, unsaturated. So that's.
Yeah, it's just a sketch, but I kind of like that one the best.
I do. I like it. It's nice. I like your path, how it pulls you in. I do like that painting. Huh. Maybe painting really fast is the way for you.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't think too much, don't study too much. Just do it and get it done and then see what happens. Yeah. That usually works for me, I have to say. Sometimes there's just a lot of stuff in there and you just gotta lay it out.
Yeah, I do tend to wreck them the longer I'm at it.
I do too. I think we all do. So. All right. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks.
And we got Hector and Shelley. Okay. All right, Hector. Wow, that has a certain style to it. Now, are you getting in there with the palette knife, or what are you doing? You chiseling away at it? Are you muted? Not there? I don't see him there. Okay.
He should be there.
Oh.
Let's see.
You see him? I can't see.
Yeah, he's on, but he's muted.
Oh.
I'm here.
All right, there you are.
Screen is so dark.
Oh.
Anyway.
Hey, are you using a palette knife?
Fan brush.
Oh, fan brush.
Fan brush.
Really, yeah.
At the end.
Choppy strokes here.
Oh, and a sponge.
Oh, okay. Sponging
sponge.
too. Yeah, that's, I haven't really showed you guys very much about sponge painting. I haven't. I love painting with sponges. I don't do it very much, but I do love it. I used to do it a lot more when I did murals. Quite a bit. I do trees with a sponge. I mean, the whole thing. Yeah, definitely the blue really recedes in this painting. Now it's interesting, you went, instead of the warm mountains, you went with the cool daytimes and you certainly could have silhouettes there. There's no question. I mean,
yeah, I like the colored photo.
Yeah.
The lighter blue.
So you have basically a cool scheme. What do you think about maybe adding a really dark blue to your darks? It doesn't have to be everywhere, but what do you think? It's just a suggestion there.
I have some darker darks in there. It's just not showing up on the photo.
You got some blues in there? Oh, okay.
I have what do you call it? Burnt umber and raw umber.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have a bit of warmth than to be too bluish.
Okay.
I would rather have had them come forward.
So then what do you think about putting something warm in there? Like, that too much?
There is some warmth in there.
Yeah. Oh, you have like a number?
I'm sorry. It's the photo is just okay. But yeah, okay.
So then maybe a sienna or a number, yeah. Yeah, I see your browns in there. Those are nice.
Yeah, and I put some lime yellow, green.
Yep.
Warmer. Spread them around.
Nice leaves too.
I just tried not to make it such a silhouette.
Right. So you could see into it a little bit more.
I tried to keep it lacy.
Yeah, you do feel the shrubbery lace its way through there. Yeah, definitely. I think the sponge was a great move.
Yeah, I like the sponge. It gets instantly, it gives you a better, and then you can layer that. That's how I have these lighter grays in the back, and then I brought it forward with a bit deeper raw umber and with the sponge. But I did like grays that are behind it, trying to get that.
Yeah, I like how you built it up. Yeah, that's great. You get a little depth that way. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Hector.
Okay.
Definitely looks like a Hector to me.
Thanks, Rob.
All right. Thank you. And Shelley. Oh, Shelley. Wait, there we go.
Yes.
Aha. Shelley, did you take some inspiration from that painting?
I did.
I mean, some people think that the eucalyptus are just weeds around here because, you know, they're not native, but they are gorgeous. I love this little silhouette right here.
Thank
I
you.
I love eucalyptus silhouettes. They are so amazing. And your trademark blue, this is becoming your trademark now.
Well, the other one is a little bit more mixed in, and I don't know. I'm just curious what your thoughts were between the two, because I tried to cram in two today.
Oh, you did too? Oh, okay. Is there another one here, or?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, you mean just the other one? Oh, okay, that's it. Uh-huh.
I kind of like the blend of the colors on this one a little bit.
Yeah, your colors on the mountain are awesome. Yeah. You're getting to those rusty. I think you like those colors because I see you use them like in here, these deep, ready, rusty colors. I love them. And I love how you go from the light. Isn't that great to have the tree coming out of the shadows into the light? I really like that. Yeah, this beautiful little silhouette here. The other one, I think you're getting a little more. No.
Well, I was trying to be more deliberate with the shapes.
Yeah, this one definitely, yeah.
Including the cast shadow, because I've noticed when I look at our hills, the edge is hard, but the cast edge of the shadow is softer, so it has more variation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, these are pretty hard edged.
Yeah,
I like this one better, surely.
Yeah, I tend to like this one a little bit better. I don't know why, but I wouldn't mind seeing those colors you used on the mountain over there on here. Those rusty things, you know, you really like them, I can tell.
Fun exercise. Thank you very much, Rob.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, there's George after the touch-ups. Oh, there you go. That does give you a little more depth, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps some.
Yeah. Because you get this plane separated from that plane. Yeah, definitely. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Did I miss anyone? Probably did. Had a lot of people. A lot of people had to jump over. Nope. Well, then, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Another
Thank you, Rob.
Another fantastic one, yes.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
And we'll, I've got a lot of notes. So think about that hot press or Yupo or mineral paper next time. And also, I want to do a little practice on some, I'll go over some branchology with you, you know, we'll go over some branch stuff. So, okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Great day. That was a great day. All right. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.